If there's one phone that we really enjoyed using last year, it's the Realme 11 series. Compared to the Realme 10 series, the entire Realme 11 series featured an all-new design language, faster processors, and better cameras. Out of all the Realme 11 models we tried though, the top-spec Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G is the one that stood out the best. Now, a mere 6 months later, Realme Philippines has finally released the successor to the Realme 11 series, the Realme 12. And today, we'll be taking a closer look at the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G. On the outside, the Realme 11 and Realme 12 series look very similar in terms of design. Under the hood though, Realme has made this phone a lot more powerful, and they've even fitted a better camera. Still, the question remains, is the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G a phone you should pick up this early 2024? Well, I'm Jose from YugoTech, and let's find out in this review. So, roll that OBB, let's get started. Let's start with the style and design. At first glance, you might not think Realme changed much on the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G, especially when it comes to the design. You still get the large circular camera housing located at the top center of the phone. If you look closely though, you'll notice some very subtle changes. To begin, there's the revised camera layout. The main shooter is no longer at the center with the two other lenses on the side. Instead, the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G added a fourth separate lens module for what seems like a depth sensor, just to keep that flawless symmetry of the design. And then they placed the camera flash at the top. We'll talk more about the cameras on this phone later on in the camera segment. Now, other design changes, the bezel of the camera module is different too. You get a fluted bezel design which gives the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G a more premium look. It also reminds me of the fluted bezel designs on some Rolex watches like the Datejust, the Day-Date, and the Sky Dweller. As for the rest of the phone, there aren't too many changes. The back panel still features the same textured leather-rubber combination, but without the fake stitching around this time. The 3D stitch or zipper design that runs down the middle of the phone is also carried over. The updated design makes the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G look a lot better compared to its predecessor. I'm sure some users will still have a different opinion about the styling, but again, styling is subjective. Moving on the right side, you'll find the volume rocker along with the power button. At the bottom, you'll find the dual SIM 5G card slot along with the USB-C port and one of the loudspeakers. At the top, you'll find the other loudspeaker while the left side remains clean. Now, this new submarine blue color is very elegant too. Just like before, it's easy to hold, still slim, and easy to fit in your hand or in your pocket. Overall, Realme didn't give the 12 Pro Plus 5G a drastic makeover as compared to the transition from the Realme 10 series to the Realme 11 series. Instead, they decided to enhance the new design language further to make it look and feel a lot more premium. Now, flip it over, and you're greeted by a 6.7-inch AMOLED Full HD Plus curved display. Based on the specs, the screen appears to be a carryover from the Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G. It features the same 2412 by 1080 resolution with 950 nits of peak brightness, 120Hz refresh rate, and 240Hz touch sampling rate. At the top of the screen, there is a pinhole cutout for the front camera. Now, there are still very slim bezels all around, giving you a much bigger display to work with. And since this is an OLED display, the colors are quite vivid out of the box. And like before, you can choose whether you want to set screen colors to vivid or natural. From factory, this is set to vivid mode though, but you can change it to standard if you want. Now, what's new with the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G is the option to choose the color temperature. Instead of just natural, warm, or cool, you can personally select the color temperature you want. Although my personal preference would just be natural. Although if you want green, yellow, pink, well, that's up to you. With 950 nits of peak brightness, you won't have any issues using this phone under the sun. Even when we were at the beach, we could still see everything on the screen quite clearly. Not to mention, the colors are quite great. Now, together with the 120Hz refresh rate, this makes it great for watching movies or, just checking out the photos and videos you captured on the camera. Since you do have a 120Hz refresh rate, gamers will be able to enjoy playing games on this phone. Now, paired with the dual loudspeakers, you get a more immersive gaming experience, although I do wish the speakers did sound a bit better. Interestingly, Realme says the speakers are tuned by Dolby Atmos. For my personal preference, it still lacks a lot of bass, but at least the mids are quite clear. And more importantly, the speakers are loud. This makes it easy to hear the in-game audio or the video you're playing. For a better listening experience though, I would recommend pairing your favorite Bluetooth headphones or earphones since This does not come with a 3.5mm audio jack. One of the most enjoyable features of the Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G last year was the camera. It featured a 200 megapixel main shooter which captured great photos and videos. So we had high expectation with the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G's camera. You might think the Realme downgraded in terms of specs. The triple rear camera is highlighted by a 50 megapixel main shooter paired with a 64 megapixel periscope portrait camera and an 8 megapixel ultra wide. Meanwhile, the front camera is now a 32 megapixel selfie shooter. However, the 50 megapixel main uses the highly acclaimed Sony IMX890 sensor, which is arguably one of the most capable camera sensors on the market today. Meanwhile, the 64 megapixel shooter uses an OmniVision OV64B sensor. The results? You get a phone camera that is not only capable, but also versatile. Whether you're shooting landscape, portrait, or a subject that's really far from you, the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G can do it. You do get 120 times zoom to work with after all. Given the capability of the sensors, you are bound to get really great images. The photos come out sharp and vibrant out of the box, and they're not oversaturated or over-edited either. The camera's algorithm does a great job of balancing it all. Even at night, you can capture great images, and there's good contrast too, especially when you're shooting sunset photos. Now, mind you, I did not use portrait mode or the other shooting modes that much since the photos came out great as is. All I did was turn on Auto HDR and AI in the settings. But you do get several unique shooting modes like Street Photography mode, Moon mode, and Starry Mode Pro to name a few. Even when you use up to 3 times optical zoom, the image quality remains almost the same. It's only when you start zooming by 10 times or beyond does the image quality start to drop. But still, the photos are usable if you're not too OC. While there is 120 times digital zoom, it's not the best when shooting in low light. At the same time, you do need to have very steady hands in order to make the most out of the 120 times zoom of the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G. In terms of video, the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G can capture footage at a maximum of 4K at 30 FPS. While the camera does have a stabilization function, this only works when you're shooting at 1080p. Now, I noticed that the video isn't very stable when you're shooting 4K handheld. So I would suggest pairing it with a gimbal to make the most out of it. But with the ultra steady function turned on, you can get some cinematic shots using the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G. And the 1080p quality isn't that bad. Now, speaking of quality, the video quality is identical to that of the images. In well-lit environments and areas, the videos captured are superb, and even when you're just shooting at 1080p. At night or in low light, you still get really nice footage, but it's not as sharp and you do start noticing the noise in the video. However, it's still very much usable, especially if you plan on shooting content with this phone. Aside from the new camera, another big upgrade Realme made to the 12 Pro Plus 5G can be found under the hood. The phone is now powered by an octa-core Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 chipset with an Adreno 710 GPU. Our review unit comes with 12GB of RAM, which can be expanded by an additional 12GB for a total of 24GB. It also has 512GB of storage, which is more than enough. Now mind you, there is no micro SD slot to expand storage further, so if you plan on downloading a lot of apps and capturing a lot of 4K video or a lot of images, you might find it lacking in the future. Now, given the new chipset, it's no surprise that the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G can handle day-to-day tasks without going through any issues, especially with the new chipset. You can leave multiple apps running in the background and you can still watch videos on Netflix or YouTube at the same time without experiencing any lags or slowing down. But it's during gaming that the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G really excels. I was able to run Genshin Impact on full settings without running into any issues whatsoever. The phone was able to run the game really well and the loading times were relatively fast even at max graphics. There's even a game booster mode to help improve the gaming experience. Paired with the 120Hz display, you can definitely enjoy exploring the world of Tevat on this phone. However, the phone did heat up after playing Genshin on max graphics for more than 45 minutes. It was only when the phone heated up did the Genshin begin experiencing frame rate drops and the game itself started slowing down. Still, it's an impressive feat considering this isn't exactly a gaming phone. But to give you a better idea of how it performs, check out the benchmark scores right here. In terms of OS, the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G runs on Android 14 skinned with Realme UI 5.0. If you're used to Realme smartphones, then you're bound to enjoy using this phone. However, you probably won't like the host of bloatware that comes with it once you boot up the phone. You get the usual hot games and hot apps folder, which you'll eventually end up deleting. There are other pre-installed apps that might be useful for some users, but still, I do wish Realme UIs came with less bloatware or no bloatware at all from the factory, because I eventually deleted all of them to free up some space. Now, there aren't too many new special features with Realme UI 5.0, but you do get smart suggestions and the new Flash Capsule. Flash Capsule is effectively Realme's version of the dynamic island wherein timers and notifications pop up at the top portion of the screen. And like before, you still get split view, flexible windows, quick return, and the smart sidebar. Moving on to the battery, the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G continues to use a 5000 mAh unit. Despite the new and more powerful chipset, the phone did not seem more power hungry. I was able to use the phone for an entire day taking photos, videos, and playing games, and by the time I got home, I still had around 25% of battery life. Now, I did notice the phone uses up a lot of battery when you're playing graphic-intensive titles like Genshin Impact. When I was playing Genshin on max graphics, I went from around 100% to 83% battery after playing for just around 45 minutes. That's about 5 hours and 52 minutes of total gameplay on a full charge, which isn't too bad. But it goes without saying, it's better to bring a power bank if you plan on doing some long gaming sessions with the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G. To give you a better idea, we ran PCMark's Work 3.0 battery test and we were able to get a result of 12 hours and 19 minutes, which is a very decent result. When you do need to recharge this phone, it doesn't take too long either. The Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G comes with 67 watt Super VOOC fast charging. According to Realme, it can recharge the phone from 1% to 50% in just 19 minutes. Now, you might think it's fast, but interestingly, this charging speed is a lot slower compared to the 100 watt charging speed of the Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G we tried out last year. As for why Realme slowed down the charging speeds, well, that we don't know. So, the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G might not have changed much in terms of design, especially compared to its predecessor, but Realme did make changes where it counts, in performance and the camera. Consequently, Realme didn't make the phone too expensive either despite the serious upgrades in terms of performance and camera. At a price of just 25,999 pesos for the 12GB plus 512GB variant, it is a bit more expensive than before, but given the upgrades, I would say it is justified. However, the price increase does mean it has a lot more serious contenders to go up against, especially models that will be released later this year. But wait, there is some good news. There is a special introductory price of the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G of just 21,999 pesos, which is 4,000 pesos less than the official SRP. Now, do note this is just a special introductory price, so better get one soon or you'll have to pay the full 25,999 pesos. For those of you interested, you can order the phone from the official Realme physical stores or on the official Realme Philippines Shopee, Lazada, and TikTok pages. Whether you get the phone now or eventually later, the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G is a great phone to buy, especially if you need to upgrade to a new model this early 2024. If you have the budget, you can't go wrong with this phone, and you'll surely enjoy capturing content with it. But what do you think of the Realme 12 Pro Plus 5G? Would you consider buying it? Or wait for the newer phones to be launched later this year? Whatever the case, share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video or found it informative, do drop a like and subscribe to our channel to watch more. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and visit yugatech.com to stay updated with the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been Jose, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya!